In this video, I'll show you how to use JUMP to calculate binomial probabilities. The example we're going to work through is the one where we were doing a survey where we were interviewing 20 people and asking them whether or not they were committed to eating nutritious foods when they dine out. And according to the National Restaurant Association, it should be 40% of adults who say they are committed to eating healthy when they eat out. So to start out with, we need to create a blank data table. So we're going to go to File, New, Data Table. And we're going to need a column that contains all the possible values of the binomial random variable x. So we'll call this column x. And in our example, we're interviewing 20 people. So the fewest who could say they're committed to eating healthy would be 0, and the most would be all 20. So the value of x will range from 0 up to 20. So there's a couple ways you can go about this. You can just go through and type in 0 through 20 in your cells, or if you want to do a shortcut, you can just type in the first few values, highlight them, right-click, and then go to Fill, Continue Sequence 2, and so we're going to tell it to keep going up by 1 until we get to it needs a row number. So it would actually be the 21st row. Since we started with 0, 20 would occur on the 21st row. And so we hit OK. And you can see JUMP automatically fills in the values 0 through 20 into this column for me. The next thing that I'm going to do is create a second column which contains the probability that x is equal to whatever value is in the row right beside it. So we'll call this column P of x. And now I'm going to go to Calls, short for columns, go down to Formula, and I'm going to be interested in this discrete probability menu here. So I'm going to click on it and it's going to bring up some options for me. And if you notice, there's two related to the, well, there's actually 3 related to the binomial distribution, but 2 of them we're going to use. And if you forget which is which, when you hover your cursor over the names, it tells you what it does. So this tells me binomial distribution is going to return the probability a binomially distributed random variable is less than or equal to k. So that's going to give us cumulative probabilities, not exactly what I'm interested in right now. If you notice, binomial probability returns the probability a binomially distributed random variable is equal to a certain value k. So let's choose binomial probability. And then you'll notice it brings up some boxes where I need to type in the values for p, n, and k. So p is going to be my probability of success, which is 0.4 here. The number of trials, which is going to be 20. And then k is how many successes I want to observe. And so that's where my column of potential x values is going to come into play. So I feed that column into this last cell here. And then the other thing is that let's, to make it pretty, let's round everything to 4 decimal places. So to do that, I'm just going to click on the whole formula. So notice if I just click on the binomial probability name, it highlights the entire formula in red. And then I can click on numeric and then choose round, and let's round this to 4 decimal places. And then when I click OK, it's going to fill in this column with the probability that x is equal to whichever value is in the x column. And so you can see what we calculated by hand. The probability that x equals 0 is 0, probability x equals 1 is 0.0005, and the probability that x equals 2 is 0.0031, which is all what we got when we calculated it by hand. And for this final column, I am going to be interested in the cumulative probabilities, so I'll just go ahead and call this cumulative probabilities. Say OK. And then I'm going to go through the same process just using that other formula, which gave me the less than or equal to probability. So I go back to Calls, down to Formula, and now I'm going to go to discrete probability, and now I'm interested in that binomial distribution one, which gave me the less than or equal to probability. So again, a probability of success of 0.4. number of trials of 20. And then the value of x that's going to be of interest is going to be in the x column. And then again, let's round. So highlight your entire formula. Numeric, round to 4. Click OK. And then it fills in this entire column. So you can see for less than or equal to 2, that's 0.0036, which is just the sum of 2 and everything below it. That's how you can use JUMP to calculate binomial probabilities for you.